expression wasn't much better than yours when I first saw this. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin. Well, first of all, can I just say that this had nothing to do with me? I'm just an unlucky bystander here. The family can testify for me. If you don't believe me, just ask anyone in the Bloodhound family. They hate me and they hate the IPC, so they'd never lie. This is not where the crime happened. What I showed you was a memory. The most basic light cone manifesting tech. Did you really think the Galaxy Rangers were outsiders this whole time? Penacony has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony. The family's Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defensive line, breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's who could have done it, friend. The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger. An imposter. An unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity. Ifrit's death was a foregone conclusion. And Robin? Her misfortune was staring right at her. Who will be the next to die? It's fine. Listen to your gut. Building trust always takes time, and I'm willing to wait. I just hope you realize that wherever that legacy is concerned, covert plans are already underway throughout Penacony. Everyone's got their own agenda. Careful you don't get stuck on the wrong side. If I were you, I'd keep my distance from Acheron. After all, any schemes out in the open are always going to be better than a monster in the shadows, right?
Who's to say there isn't an even deeper conspiracy lurking beneath the surface?
Memo Keeper, I think our little deal.
Aventurine is telling the truth. This memory is a real one, and there's no sign of any distortion grafting on.
The IPC is not the Garden, and there are real limits to what they can actually do, but you know all this. Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I want to reach out personally to team up with the Astral Express. I told you I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Penacony for work. I'm here to retrieve some lost property for the IPC, if you catch my drift. I'm talking ownership of this frontier prison. This has all become a bad debt thanks to the cancer of all worlds. The IPC has tried sitting down for negotiations time and again, but the family wouldn't even take our calls. You have no idea how difficult these people are to deal with. Put it this way. They've hushed up the existence of death before, so they can definitely cover up any news about Robin's death. It'll just quietly float off like a bubble and pop. Nobody ever being the wiser. That's not fair, right? So then, friend, I need your help. I have but only one goal. The family's front door is like a high wall, and to tear the whole thing down, I'll have to dig out a few chunks first. Once I find a weak point, the IPC will have plenty of means. Now we have our chance. So long as we can get to the truth behind her death, we can have justice for Robin. while also gaining a valuable bargaining chip for bringing the family to the table. Truly a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity. I've been investigating and making lots of friends all over Penacony precisely for this very moment. This tragic news would be extremely bad for the family, so they'll be doing everything they can to stop it leaking, especially to the IPC. But I trust that there are still a few factions that remain exceptions, and that's why I need you all. The reputation of the Astral Express precedes you. And the Harmony will give you you get to find out really what happened and seek justice. And I get to put it toward completing my mission for the IPC. It's what you call a win-win situation. But don't worry, just head back and talk things over with your companions. That navigator is really smart. She must understand the value of this deal. Look, here's my contact details. If you come to any conclusions, call me. Oh, and take this. A thorough investigation can always use a little more funding. Don't mention it. So long, friend. I really am looking forward to uncovering the truth about death with everyone.
Aventurine just sauntered off. He really doesn't mean to force it, but something still seems off.
What now? What are your plans?
Black Swan. What is she thinking?
Food merchant whose scheme won't just be as simple as it appears to be. He doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet, but judging by your reaction, he may have noticed something going on. And that's quick thinking and very sound logic. Aventurine is no fool. But you're talking about real evil. Anyway, be careful out there. There's more than one way to blaze a trail. As for the other questions, I'm not sure the two cases were committed by the same culprit, but that massive wound. Plus, it seems unlikely that there would be two. Sorry, I can't answer that question. That ranger, but without a doubt, she is the most special. Two victims appearing one after the two possibilities. The collapse of Penacony's dreamscape has started speeding. If someone has chosen these victims deliberately, first, it's all happened so quickly, I can only make a conjecture. After leaving... Come, this way. It's a short walk. Don't get lost. This way. This is where we part ways. All of this is like a nightmare. Unfortunately, the remembrance doesn't lie. What we just saw, but follow your heart and don't be afraid. We all walk through this world casting hold on just a sec. There you go. A small parting gift. If one day you unfortunately fall into the deep waters of the memory zone, and there's no memo keeper to join you, I also pay great attention to the ways of the world. Just think of this as an apology. Then, I've something private to take care of regarding what fascinating memories will you bring for me next?
Crap. Is... Himiko okay? So much has happened.
Better unshore that blade now, Ranger.
Do you still dream, Hunter? Of those slain by your hand?
It appears the outcome has already been determined.
We're still alive. As are you. We still have room to make a choice. Leave the music box behind. Then go.
Choice. The bloody trail of the destruction leaves no room for hesitation.
The Taurus fire demon. Even if you sacrifice your life for that eon, you won't get through.
Ranger, you tread the narrow path of the hunt. You could never understand. We come from the fire and are born bathed in fire. We spread, burn, and destroy until all the kindling is burned out and we leave only ashes on the ground. Burning forms the entire life of a fire demon, from the beginning to the end. We are born.
Your companions don't seem to think so. They fight for your chance at survival.
They are my children, and just as I was, they are flames that have yet to burn wide hot. They're still young, and I don't believe them. But my flames are faint, and time is running out. Can you see the planet of festivities in the distance? I plan to bring purgatory with me there, and before that,
Why?
because on the path they have forged, you have traveled far, Emanator. You cannot hide your true identity. Draw that sword, for where destruction is intense, but brief. Too cravenly click.
Even if the answer turns out to be your own destruction.
What is important is not the answer, but that it exists, just as you exist. Everything exists to be destroyed. Emanators are no different. Just as even sweet dreams may be born of the void, the so-called impossible.
All right. I accept.
You shall witness the most brilliant and intense fire in existence. May this flame illuminate the farthest reaches of your body.
A bottomless stream. Yes, that's right. But you've made one small mistake. This blade remains in its scabbard not out of pity or scorn. It's a personal secret that I don't want to disclose. Perhaps out of reciprocity. I'll reveal the truth to you. The hunt is not the path I truly follow. May death be the end of your boundless dream, guiding you back to the waking world. I still see them in my dreams. Hold it. Your time hasn't come yet.
My time?
I've seen many clever disguises that can conceal appearances, but they can never cover up who a person really is. And you're no different. You had no desire to kill the Trailblazer. You only did what you did to drive me and the Memo Keeper away, but why? Did Destiny's slave make you do it?
You know, Elio.
I thought this is just the kind of thing that'd get written into your script.
My script has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond that is unnecessary. He knows my nature. There is but a single destiny from which no one can escape. And until then, however, you appear to be ignorant of this. So it's time for me to inquire. Who?
Not your enemy, perhaps.
That's not what I asked.
I don't deserve your curiosity. Loners wandering the cosmos always have their secrets. Take me. I'm wanted by the IPC, so it's little wonder that I know something about the Stellaron Hunters. Maybe I can help.
What reason would you have for doing that?
I tend to forget things. Which is why, rather than memories, I'm accustomed to using my emotions to capture what I normally wouldn't otherwise. So, I know who is inside that cold armor. How about it? Ready to take off that armor and sit down for a talk?
It's not yet time. I don't need help, but I can give you a suggestion. If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence,
Already on it.
and the Astral Express is no enemy of yours.
I know that. I just never expected to hear you say it. What's next, then? The Trailblazer's been taken by Black Swan. Will you go look for him?
No need for that. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one instruction. Get all of the astral. I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way. But as you can see, here I am, confronting you. I failed. Can't ever go.
The so-called impossible is merely something that has yet to happen. That's it. Before we split, can I ask you, is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of footnote I get to leave in that future.
Unfortunately, not a thing came up.
I knew it.
Hang on. I don't.
Don't. What?
Your first question was, do you still have dreams about everyone who died because of you? I don't. Never have. I was born without the ability to dream. reality for a little light and to burn, to keep on burning until I turn to ash. So, I really envy you.
Is that so? Then you're already living in the waking world.
We heard about Miss Firefly from Black Swan, but we never expected Miss Robin to...
I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you then.
Reality cruises on in Serenity, while undercurrents bubble up from... Stay strong, everyone. We can still do what we can for them.
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded me of something.
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this. And we also beg each of you to help assist the family in verifying the identity.
Looking back, he seemed a little evasive at the time. And he...
The family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death. If news...
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their advantage by...
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. So they went with the flow and let more people... After all, the nature of the two murders is fundamentally different. The
Indeed. He was particularly...
Are we missing the forest for the trees here? I always felt that Aventurine's reasons for...
At this point, I'm afraid the only ones we can trust are ourselves.
Look, let's try to gather intel first and then list all the possible outcomes we can. Then I've still got this sense of foreboding. It's like...
This time we're playing the role of a real detective. But before we start...
As I see things, the family harbors no ill will towards the Astral Express. If they didn't trust the... Plus, this is the family's turf. Teaming up as for that Aventurine... Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
He's complex. He deliberately slow-played his hand during negotiations. He appealed convincingly to both reason and emotion. Still, it's good to have contacts among all this uncertainty. We also need to keep a certain distance from the family. Never let them get too close. Teaming up with the IPC...
So, you suggest...
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait.
I get why, but there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here, and I'm worried about getting stabbed in the back. You're like a broken record. Forget about it. Just let me keep an eye on him. If that doesn't work...
Then, could you please reply to Aventurine?
Looks like Aventurine is happy with this outcome. Let's tell everyone about it.
Aventurine's goal is to try and recapture the existence of death will be covered up by the family. So... I was also considering this possibility. Aventurine has devoted considerable attention. He's definitely going for the family, and it's just a matter of how. The Harmony is an attack on the hotel guests? Unlikely. I'm just speculating. In any case, he's clearly a born gambler if he's...
said something that he accused that Galaxy Ranger of killing Robin without any evidence whatsoever. But it was a groundless accusation, which only serves to make him seem... Maybe Adventurine's goal was never to gain our trust. However, I asked Don Hung back on the Express to confirm that story about... You've met her many times now. What's your... That fits the stereotype of a Galaxy Ranger, too. They're eccentric, unpredictable, and fond of being alone. No wonder.
I really love Clocky.
Checked off the list.
I hope it's not too soon to bring it up. But I feel like Miss Robin isn't actually dead. Because aren't we supposed to be inside a dream? How could some... Whenever I see the Grand Theater... Yeah, of course. At times like this, everyone's still having a great time out there on the streets. Nobody knows what's happened. Aw, what a mess. I really want a nice cool drink of... But then I'd be just like everyone else out on...
Looks like Adventurine doesn't need anything else. Let's turn...
Among our current clues, the 2 murders that he witnessed, one thing I'm curious about is, if a person dies in a dream, what happens to them in real life? Seeing as
How about we split off into 2 groups? There are still some things...
worth focusing on. Oh,
Huh? Aw, I thought I'd finally get to see you.
I will... Honored guest, could you come out for a second?
I'd be embarrassed too, getting stared at like that.
Forgive me. My name is Welt Yang. I'm one of the crew members on the Astral Ex...
Well,
Is there something about my name?
first, don't you want to know my name?
I already do, Miss Acheron. You're a prominent figure in...
What are they saying about me?
Some claim that you're the real culprit behind these murders. That the Annihilation Gang's tragic fate at the banquet was a result of your blade. And
The Annihilation Gang.
Ifrit of Everflame Mansion.
Tragic fate. That Duke turned his dying body to flames and sacrificed his life as a martyr. He was a determined and heroic pathstrider. Not even a villain should be disparaged like this. And what's more, there were plenty of suspects invited. Do they really think that a blade is more dangerous than that black hole you're wielding?
Keen intuition. Not even the family managed to point out the truth behind this cane. So you must surely know, Miss Acheron, that peering into a black hole is not a wise move. As a potential threat, your knowledge of reveal your true identity and intentions. Otherwise, brace yourself for gravitational disintegration.
That shouldn't be necessary. But if it makes the Nameless feel less defensive, I'll be happy to abide. Believe it or not, Galaxy Ranger, Acheron, those are the names I go by to this very day. My trip to Penacony is solely to fulfill an old fine. I'm here for the Watchmaker's legacy. And that's it. I think I've been honest enough.
Still unwilling to reveal your true identity?
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't. I've come so far, and I can't sum up all of that in just a few words. Everyone has their own unspeakable past. Secrets that they don't want to be revealed. And I won't be asking any more questions, such as why the Astral Express is roaming around the cosmos with a Stellaron on board. Is he okay? That memo keeper didn't do anything. right?
He's fine. Let's stick with the topic. Gaining my trust all depends on how much you're willing to reveal.
I've run around many different Penacony dreamscapes just to try and find that legacy. And during this period, I came into contact with quite a few guests. In the process, I gradually came to realize the secret of Penacony may be closely related to the trail. That's why I've come to ask for your help. I don't have enough proof yet, but I'd like to speculate something. The source of all tragedy lies within the family. If you could trust me, we could find the proof to support this claim. Mr. Yang, I think you've come to the same.
Let's leave it at that. For now, I'll choose to share your findings with me and me alone. I don't want vague conjecture to interfere with other people's judgments before we find...
By the way, would you like something to drink? Before we go, how about 2 cups of Wake the Heck Up? No, 4 cups. Because the conversation coming up will last forever.
I've been watching her closely for a while now, and the first invitation was in the banquet. She just sat in one corner, keeping silent, chugging down a couple cups of Wake the Heck Up. I told her it's a punch.
Really? But I don't taste any difference at all between them.
The guest rooms are charmingly minimalist. An aesthetic you share, Miss Acheron. It's a cinch, this music box. The invitation received by the Annihilation Gang. You see, memories of you are not yours alone. They travel in other people, other things. I know much, and The Annihilation Gang, that band of desperados who all disappeared after meeting you. What exactly happened to them? Well...
Gradation 12. Dreamscape 12.
Well done, Dubra. Wherever they go, shall be met by it.
There it is. It's hazy, but it's Ifrit's voice. The other one is probably his progeny. This is the residual memory from when the invitation was first delivered. They were abruptly interrupted.
They sought refuge in a land of sleep. Children of the flame, this marks your right up.
She won't be necessary. I alone am enough.
When have thou on the path of destruction?
The Everflame Mansion has set out on a journey. Those poor people, they have no idea what lies in wait. Memory recovery is going well, but slowly. She'll be here soon, and time is short. There's nobody else here, so there's no need to be delicate. What happened? The memory after that is blank. How is that possible? This music box fell into Acheron's hands, and she brought it to Penacony. That's a fact, and that's how it should have gone. But along the way... it's like it's been erased. Who's done this?
Who are you? Who are you?
It's... no. Is this not a memory?
Oh, a memo keeper. Do you serve the Garden of Recollection? Or the Cremators? My name is Constance. A pleasure to meet you. We were supposed to meet in Pentagoney and spend an unforgettable time together. But that seems unrealistic. Dahlia's not welcome on the banquet star, and I don't need a coming-of-age ceremony. And you, I know what you're looking for. Want her secret? I can give it to you, and then you can enjoy the banquet for me. I wish you unforgettable memories.
Oh. A phone. Wanna listen in?
A few days ago, the IPC made an announcement. Under the watchful guidance of the Marketing Development Department, and in accordance with the Interstellar Peace Charter, the independent Sigonian sovereignty has hereby been established, and shall take a legislative seat at the Interstellar Congress. The formation of the Sigonian sovereignty is of great historical significance to the Sigonia system. This move puts an end to the planet's long and bloody history, turning the sensational Kataka-Avgin extinction event into a distant memory.
Sigonia 4 is located in an unclaimed zone at the intersection of the Denise, Prothean, and Dorneau star clusters. The planet's surface environment is known for being extremely harsh, constantly faced with the threat of impact from small-scale celestial objects. This is why very few intelligent species have made this planet their home, dividing themselves into several tribes to eke out nomad lifestyles as they struggle to survive the arid desert wilderness. They have developed their own folk beliefs that are independent of the Eon belief system.
Sigonia. Sigonia. Ravenous eye of the storm, spurned by all the gods. Land of rock, but not water. Lightning, but not rain. You promised us a land of honey, yet yoked us when you took his father. My child was still sleeping in my bed. I don't ask for a peaceful death. Otherwise...
Mommy! 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 Rain! It's raining!
Raining? Raining!
It's raining! It's true! The elders weren't lying to us. They really did summon the rain. Mommy, we can leave here. We can go back home.
Back home. Oh. Darling, listen. Such a lucky child. Such a blessed child. May the goddess Gayatri close her eyes 3 times. Keep your blood eternally pulsing. Let your journey be forever peaceful. and your schemes forever concealed. Welcome to this sad world, Kakavasha.
Time to wake up, gambler.
Oh, heavens. I must have drunk too much Soul Glad. Didn't expect you to be back so soon. How is it? Find anything?
Just as you guessed. Nobody outside knows about Robin's death. There aren't even baseless conspiracy theories. They're still streaming the rehearsal for her ceremony, using a stand-in, I guess. They must be dreaming.
Of course. Who could imagine that death would actually descend upon the idyllic dream created by the family? Let alone that the victim would be the fate. To be honest with you, I didn't believe it. I even tested it a few times myself, until I discovered that I couldn't actually die. Whenever there's any danger, I'm forced awake by the dream pool, and that's why I'm convinced that there are a few big secrets lurking behind the scenes.
Then you must have heard about the Memory Zone meme. When I graciously deigned to establish connections with the Oak family on your behalf, they were quite in a pitiful state of disarray. Besides Robin, there was another body. I don't know the exact details, just that it was a stowaway.
2 murder cases? I told you something seemed off about the Nameless. He must have come across the other one. This murderer is a psycho. But I have to admit, the case should be easy to crack. We can leverage the family's malfeasance and let the IPC use this as a reason to intervene. It's just that their trickery runs deeper than I thought. Robin's stand-in was all ready to go. These 2 murders are definitely getting hushed up. What should we do? Let me think. It's too rare an opportunity to miss out on, so I gotta be careful.
Incredible, gambler. Have you already exhausted your limited repertoire of tricks so soon?
There are plenty of chips, but it'd be best to choose carefully. The most straightforward has to be Robin. Remember? That masked fool once told me to find a mute as a friend. Robin is what she calls the mute. She has lost her voice, and while most people can't pick up on it, you and I cannot mistake that sound. Not produced by any voice box, but rather by the resonance of the harmony. If that girl hadn't gone hoarse from singing practice, there'd only be one possibility. Something was up with the family. Or Robin herself. To get to the bottom of this, I tried every way I could to meet her. But she died. Right before my very eyes.
A complete and utter loss. Incidentally, it seems to have resulted. There were eyewitnesses at the scene, and the family, in their graciousness, has tentatively accepted your alibi. However, for the foreseeable future, you shall, regrettably...
Well, things aren't looking too optimistic, Doctor. I'm starting to break out in a cold sweat.
A probability? Yes, it exists, but it verges on the infinitesimal. To phrase it in a manner more befitting the vernacular of Penacony, you're dreaming. But if you simply can't control yourself and want to try your hand, then there just so happens to be a suitable candidate. That man wants to see you again.
Who?
Sunday.
Is this a public hearing or a private trial?
If it were the former, it would hardly befit my stature to stoop to the role.
Fine. Well, that's great. It's all great. You see, the dead can't talk, but the living can. Ratio, I'm convinced now that there must be something wrong inside the family. Oh, just you. Without any further ado, let's set off. Lead the way. The show is about to begin.
We're here. The Dewlight Pavilion is the Oak family's fortress and a place where heads of the families meet to discuss great plans for Penacony.
Fortress? Well, I like this metaphor. I dealt with the warlords of the Honkai Star system not long ago, and they're synchronized.
This mansion nominally belongs to Sunday, and is very befitting of its owner. Without his express invitation, the likes of ordinary guests would never grace these grounds in their life.
Hey, Doc, whose side are you on anyway?
Who's to say I won't sell you out?
We'll see. When we meet the authoritarian master of the Oak family.
Follow me and I'll bring you to his parlor.
This is hardly enough for a seat at the table.
Hey, you two! That's a place.
I was requested by Mr. Sunday to bring him the suspect.
Oh, I remember you. Veritas Ratio. Your punch virtual particle clock.
Excuse me?
The one on your head. Of course, it's nothing compared to my
Right, and as I mentioned, that fantasy...
That's because you can't see it. Like I say.
It seems like the idiocy index here is...
A dead end?
The door is shut.
I mean, there...
For security reasons, the family built the... On the previous occasion, an attendant...
Well, maybe we should do the same. A reward with no risk? I'll take it.
Nightingales facing in different direction. They are.
How can nightingales be so huge?
There are no eagles in the 5 families, only nightingales. Why am I...
just as I...
A truly miraculous discovery. Perhaps I should offer you the...
Really? Well, I thought you'd given up on that already.
I was being sarcastic. Can't you tell?
Impressive.
Do you need me to remind you? We're in a dreamscape.
Yeah, you're right. The only way to destroy the family is...
Hold on.
Huh? What?
No, but
My friend.
it's a trial. You got to prove, if I'm not wrong, we need to find a way to...
Oh, and...
Get serious. I've no time for games.
Wow. That's an enormous sample. I'd love to build a tall building for myself. Once I have enough savings. Oh, look.
There wasn't a gap before.
Well, with your brilliant mind, you shouldn't have any trouble recalling what was here.
Of course. Let's look around. When I see it, I will know it.
Fine. Fine. Why do I feel that we're pursuing a degree in burglary now?
Found it. This is it.
March. Well, I'm amazed you can remember something.
If I were you, I would shut my mouth. It's...
Well, this reminds me of one of those building toys. You know, with the blocks. I've never played with them before. Oh, look. The gap is closed. And it fits perfectly. Oh, good heavens. Did I drink? Am I still in a dream?
Indeed.
Oh, Doctor, you're huge. It's me! Down here! In the sand pit! Oh, actually, I think we could make this work for us. Just find a way to slip me into Sunday's collar, and I'll infiltrate the family just like that. Oh, fine. Let's find a way to open the door.
An oak soldier.
And
hello, I am an oak soldier. Model, happy Jen. Please look, model.
What's up with that? Now the family's toys are trying to frame me? I didn't do a thing to it, Doc. You've got to be my witness. Oh, capsule machine. There's no mechanism. So, I was right. These models have interiors that look exactly like the real buildings. The only difference is that no one lives in them. Funny that Sunday puts a miniature that makes him seem like a giant by comparison, right where he can see it first thing in the morning. Insecure much? One of the fragments flew upstairs. I'll need to use the pinball machine to flick myself up there. But it's tough. Oh, Doc! I'll need...
There's no need to yell. I can hear you. Finally, a moment of peace. pleasant moments of solitude are always fleeting.
You're back. Just place it. Thanks, Doc. Oh, Ratio, you should come in here and take a look. The view here is breathtaking. You could easily squash me with just a pinch.
If that is your wish, I will do so.
World-cleansing dragon. Heaven surge. Break.
Friends.
Hedge your bets. I sense a storm.
Thanks, Doc. All done. Piece of cake. The joyous tour of Toy City has come to an end. Makes me feel sad. Oh, Penacony isn't all bad, right? I'll use this interesting experience as a talking point at the poker table.
It's a pity you made it out of the sandpit alive. Sunday is just beyond this door. From my limited understanding, he's not someone easily handled. Are you prepared?
Yeah. Only I believe he's the one who should be prepared to face me.
Tell me about your plan.
I don't have a plan. I'll just play it by ear. There are only two kinds of bargaining chips when dealing with people. Benefit or fear.
Looks like sincerity isn't in your dictionary.
Am I not sincere enough? There's no need to emphasize it. We've got to make good use of death. That man's sister is dead. He won't be able to turn a blind eye, and that's fear. And I'll help him find the murderer. He can't do it due to his status and position, but I can. And that's benefit.
On what basis do you believe he's incapable?
Simple. Because that murderer could...
Do you mean the galaxy...
That was just an excuse, good doctor. There's something wrong with that woman. We need someone who can keep her in check. It's better to minimize the variables outside our control while we execute our plans. Moreover, I need to know her identity. If I'm lucky. But honestly, the murder case is likely unrelated to her. I believe my standpoint. There's a rule. We'll see. Using Robin's death as a bargaining chip, I'll win back my freedom and power. In the end, I'll ruin this beautiful dream and create the... If the chance of winning is just beyond this door, even if that chance...
Ah, the charming audacity. To think that you, of all people, might...
3 chips are enough. All or nothing.
It seems my puzzles are too effortless for you, IPC Ambassador.
I appreciate your words. And I see you put a lot of effort into welcoming me, Mr. Sunday. However, this is no way to greet a guest.
Well, this isn't an invitation, but a summoning. Before we speak, I need to test your character. I imagine this knowledgeable doctor friend of yours has been of great help, yes?
Certainly. You ought to know this better than I do. He's already faithfully fulfilled his duties, hasn't he?
Yes, the doctor has assured me of your noble character. He considers you, like himself, a virtuous person who can be trusted by the family. I have come to know you very well as a person, Mr. Aventurine. You're diligent, generous, and willing to cooperate. The fact that you succeeded in overcoming many obstacles just to meet me gave me the reason to believe in your wisdom and courage. But there's one thing I must ask you. That is, you've used your wisdom at the wrong place to meet the wrong person and put yourself in a situation where you shouldn't be, witnessing a tragedy that shouldn't have happened.
You don't look too well. Am I making you anxious? If not, then it means I'm on your side.
If I wasn't mistaken, you'd just made a serious accusation against the family.
No, you weren't mistaken. For depravity is creeping in around you. There's no need for us to be evasive. Let's talk about your sister. Your sister's talent is unrivaled in the world of show business. As you know, her voice has been out of tune since she returned to Penacony. What's more disheartening, she can't sing anymore. Who could be responsible for this? Many suspect the culprit is among the outsiders, but I know you hold a different opinion. Now your noble status has become a shackle, preventing you from apprehending the murderer and avenging your sister's death. You're feeling anxious because you're out on a limb. But don't worry, I'm on your side.
I'm immensely honored by your concern for me, Mr. Aventurine. Since you're so selfless and generous, I believe you wouldn't ask for anything in return, would you?
Well, naturally, you wouldn't incur any loss from this. I just want to reclaim what is mine. My liberty, and the personal items under the family's custody, the bag of gift money, and...
the box in which the cornerstone is stored.
That's right.
Cornerstone. I've heard it's a treasured asset of the Strategic Investment Department. A sacred stone that seals the Preservation Emanator, granting significant power. And every liquidation specialist holds one. For an object so precious, it probably comes at an even higher price than other forms of recompense.
Well, I'm sure you're aware of the high level of risk I'll be undertaking to bring the truth to light.
Mr. Aventurine, when you are out and about, do you always make adjustments to your appearance? Your tie should be on the center line. Your shirt must not protrude from your vest. Your trouser creases should be perfectly straight, and always aligned with the tips of your shoes.
Of course.
But I don't, because it's not appropriate to do so in public. You should make sure everything is presentable and in order before leaving the house. I'm not the kind that takes risks. The cornerstone must be in the custody of the family.
No room for negotiation.
Please, don't let me turn you down twice.
Sure. The gift money is good enough. I suppose you wouldn't mind that. After all, a merchant can't function without a bargaining chip.
You compromised quicker than I thought. Unfortunately, it's a gambler that needs a bargaining chip, not a merchant. I can give you your gift money, but before that, I want you to tell me. The fact that you can decisively forsake the box you asked for, what exactly is stored in it? Oh, triple-faced soul, please sear his tongue and palms with a hot iron, so that he will not be able to fabricate lies and make false vows.
What have you done?
Under the light of the harmony, all wickedness is revealed. I implore them to shed their light, and I'll ask you questions on their behalf. Next, you have 113 seconds to prove your innocence and gain my trust.
And if I refuse to answer?
You can try, and we'll see if the harmony rejects you. Question: do you own a cornerstone?
Yes.
What a simple answer. You, too, understand that idle chatter leads only to poverty. Did you hand over the cornerstone to the family when you entered Penacony?
Yes.
Does the cornerstone you handed over to the family belong to you?
Yes.
Is your cornerstone in this room right now?
Yes.
Is your memory free from any kind of tampering or deletion, encompassing but not restricted to the techniques of the Garden of Recollection?
Yes.
Are you an Avgin from Sigonia?
Yes. You even know about that?
Do the Avgins have any ability to read, tamper with, or manipulate one's own or another's mind?
No. Does it matter?
Do you love your family more than yourself?
Yes.
All the Avgins were killed in a massacre. Am I right?
No.
Are you your clan's sole survivor?
Perhaps.
Do you hate and wish to destroy this world with your own hands?
I don't know.
Interesting. Now, the final question. Can you swear that at this very moment, the Aventurine Stone is safe and sound in this box?
Of course.
Looks like we can get an answer. Open it, Mr. Aventurine. It's your last chance to defend your honor. Please. Are these what you're looking for? Since you came as promised, learned doctor, does this mean that you are willing to take the side of the family in this farce?
What makes you think you can convince me?
I've heard you haven't enjoyed Mr. Aventurine's company. I also understand that you're an avid learner who sees the pursuit of knowledge above all.
In that case, you ought to realize that a competent scholar knows their position and wouldn't forsake.
If you agree to assist the family, I'll share our research findings on the Stellaron. You must be quite aware that, besides the family, no other faction is willing to share such information.
Cut to the chase. What do you need from me?
I need Mr. Aventurine's comprehensive plan.
Haven't you confiscated his cornerstone? You can't expect a featherless bird to take flight.
But I've also heard the 10 elites in the Strategic Investment Department have united, progressing together in the interests of the IPC.
You'll have to speak more clearly than that.
The cornerstone, which Mr. Aventurine surrendered, was it really his?
You question whether he would entrust you with someone else's cornerstone. The 10 Stonehearts aren't as united as you think. Cornerstones are significantly more precious to them than their very own lives.
But you know that he's a crazed gambler. The more vocal he is about it, the more cautious I must be.
I never imagined someone would share his way of thinking. Honestly, you should see a shrink. Bring it. The box containing the cornerstone is unique, and only IPC senior staff and related members can access it. But I happen to be among them.
I appreciate it.
Unfortunately, your guess is correct.
The golden stone. Its color and glow are similar to that of Klepoth's body.
This is the very ruse he intends to use to fool you. He won't reveal to you that the 10 Stonehearts chisel their own will into the cornerstones, granting them an unparalleled radiance. And this golden statue is also known as Topaz, not Adventurine, and it belongs to Topaz. So, do you wish to confront him?
Not at the moment. I'm more interested to know the location of his cornerstone.
The safest place somewhere you'd never think of. Because he never intended to hide it. In fact, that cornerstone has been in your hands for...
I see. This bag. Mixing a cornerstone. More precious than life itself. With a bunch of worthless jewels. Disguised as a gift of money waiting to be confiscated. Is indeed in line with Mr. Aventurine's style.
Then he makes up some trivial excuse, downplaying the matter, and requests the gift money. This is a gamble, one he's all too familiar with. Betting...
Learned doctor, I am grateful for your help. The family... As for the villain... It was all thanks to your friend with a keen eye that I could add a blot of utter failure to your storied career.
Ratio, you wretch.
Finally shown your true colors, huh? Oh, and just to remind you, you currently only have 17 system hours left to live. Treasure your remaining time, and savor the delectable aftertaste of defeat.
You might as well explain yourself a little more clearly.
What I performed on you just now was the Harmony's consecration. You were to show allegiance beneath the illumination of their grace. Yet you acted willfully, uttering nothing but falsehoods, transforming the consecration into a trial. I genuinely see no reason to absolve you from it.
Is this what the Harmony represents? But is it built upon constraint and coercion?
You misunderstand, Mr. Aventurine. Punishment is meant for the irreverent. But I have seen your resilient spirit, and thus I offer you the possibility of a new beginning. Throughout these 17 system hours, you will be unable to escape the dreamscape, or contact any of your companions. You only have 2 paths before you, and it all depends on whether you can complete my test within the time limit. Should you succeed, you will be able to coalesce into the Harmony and be with your family. If you fail, you will suffer the wrath of the eternal Centurion and fall into an abyss of doom.
Sounds like I'm gonna end up the same either way.
I indeed do need a servant to help me uncover the evil hidden in the family from an external perspective. I will purge the evil from the inside and bring the real culprits to justice within 17 system hours. When the time comes, compare your findings with mine. If both our findings align, or if you can provide me more insights, then they will truly be able to grant you mercy and honesty.
Shameless hypocrites. You took everything from me and still demand the truth. That isn't fair. Your carnival reeks with the stench of cash. Nothing is achievable without it.
This is meant to be an act of personal virtue, not requiring the family's support. Your bag is over there. Do as you please. I believe you can trade this bag of worthless jewels for everything you need. That's what gamblers excel at, isn't it? Off you go, Mr. Aventurine. You are free. I will wait here for your good news.
This meeting isn't an interrogation or a negotiation. It's an outright execution.
Why would I do that, Mr. Aventurine? I'm just wondering what a passerby who stumbled upon a scene of a murder could have found out. By the way, before you go...
What is it now?
Do you truly wish to bring about the destruction of this world?
Kakavasha! Where did you go? Oh, are you injured?
I got it back, sister.
You went to look for them? That's too dangerous. It's just a necklace. It's neither food nor water. We can survive without it. But I can't live without you, little brother. Promise me not to look for those catechins again, okay?
Sister, don't be afraid. The catechins are fools, but I'm smart. I played a game with them, and I won.
Won? What happened exactly?
I made a bet with them. The two birds in the desert and me. Who will die first? I won. They suspected me of cheating, but I didn't. I won fair and square.
Of course you'd win. You've always been a lucky child. Gaiathra Triclops must be watching over you. But that's no reason to push your luck by going up against those bloodthirsty, cruel catechins. Have you forgotten how Mom and Dad... Look, this is just a necklace. But Kakavasha, you are my only family.
I'm sorry, sister. I thought you'd be happy. Because Mom left you this necklace. There'll be no next time.
It is important, but not as important as you, my dearest brother. I don't blame you, but you must remember what Mom said. Pain and poverty are the trials of Gaiathra Triclops. She has also granted us a chance. And that's your good luck. You're a child blessed by Gaiathra Triclops and can lead the clan to happiness. So always remember to protect yourself and never resent the pain and poverty you're going through. All right? Listen to me and swear to Gaiathra Triclops.
Okay. We'll swear to Gaiathra Triclops to protect this wealth. But sister, if Gaiathra Triclops was really watching over us, then why did she not protect Dad when he was swept away by the quicksand? After all, Dad went to the Catechins' land only to prepare for Gaiathra Triclops. And where was Gaiathra Triclops when Mom was shivering in our arms? Mom was still pleading for Gaiathra Triclops' forgiveness under her breath. The moment she closed her eyes. Sister, everyone praises me for being smart, but I don't get it. If every rainpour was Gaiathra Triclops' forgiveness and grace, then how bad were our sins? So much so that we were born in this world of death?
Excuse me. I can't seem to find any information on this artist in the Iris family archives.
Just as I thought.
Are you referring to the records when you enter the dream pool? The equipment will monitor physiological indicators, such as heart rate, blood oxygen levels, and body temperature in real time. I apologize. The hotel does not have access.
Looks like nothing can.
At least we know who to look for next. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Allie. By the way, is Miss Robin
Fine? What does that mean? Is there something wrong with Miss Robin?
I'm... Sure enough, no one knows about Miss Robin, but that Miss Firefly is truly mysterious. There's no information on her in the house. She's also in the running for the legacy. How is she going to sneak in?
Is there any other way to enter a dream?
The Memo Keepers have abilities that are difficult for normal people to comprehend. The hacker girl from the Stellaron Hunters used extraordinary means to unlock the Dreamscape Hotel's seal.
The Garden of Recollection and the Stellaron Hunters. Both are possible.
Who are you guys?
The Bravo team has arrived at their designated position. Ready to execute armed evacuation. What do you know? It's more efficient this way. Just don't...
Help me! I spent all my year-end bonus on the snowball!
Hey, check it out! That voice.
To all guests, the IPC will be conducting special operations within the hotel. Please follow the staff in charge of evacuation to the designated safe.
I'll request a beating for you lot! You've been told not to drink during work hours. Take him back to the hotel room. I'll organize a meeting later to properly go over how this incident report should be written.
Miss Topaz? I never...
Oh, long time no see, Astrolink. It's fine. Do as they ask, and try to avoid any conflicts with the family. As you see, the IPC isn't very popular here in Penacony. Cordiality from the family is a mere facade. Only Aventurine, who carries an invitation, is allowed to attend.
No wonder Aventurine's scrambling to partner up.
His situation isn't optimistic, I hear. You're all helping to investigate something.
Thank you, Miss Topaz. We're on our way to the Hounds to verify...
Yep. They're tailing us right now. Why not go and talk to them? They don't take the spotlight off me. How does it feel to be in business? That's just his style. All or nothing is his mantra. He's always cozy, but Aventurine's luck has always been good. He's always closed all his cases without a hitch. As for the 2 cases, apologies, but...
We're carrying out our captain's...
We made a mistake last time, and we're working hard to rectify it now. We don't have time for anything else.
So that's it. They were the pair who were after Fire...
It's you again.
Well, spit it out. Stop.
So you know each other. Why do you keep running into people you've beaten up before? That's right. We're investigating a murder for the family.
Hey! The security officer instructed everyone to shut their tracks. What murder?
Yeah, that's right.
Looks like they're not going to cooperate.
Why don't we just look for the security officer then? Such tight security. I bet they're stumped by the case as well. Gallagher. Gallagher.
Apologies. Hold on a minute.
How much trouble have you stirred up exactly on Penacony?
Not possible. It was you the last time yelling about some I'm not letting you get by this time.
hold on, sir. We have documents authorized.
Who exactly is this?
He didn't say.
It was the...
He'll do.
Sorry, no can do. The boss said that since it's a matter of the... Everyone, please leave.
We're really sorry for troubling you.
Another way. Can you perform it again? It's not bad, please.
Sorry, no can... Everyone, please...
Sorry, but human lives and the family...
No? Do I really have to get... If that's the case, I'll just...
No.
Whoa! Time to clock out!
Huh? At least he won't be getting in our way.
I was wondering what all the commotion was.
Hello, Mr. Gallagher, sir.
Miss Himiko, you're...
Mr. Gallagher?
Of course I do. You folks are from... I had an encounter with this gentleman in the golden hour.
This is also the reason why we've come to visit you, Mr. Gallagher.
The Nameless, involved with...
Why?
It's nothing. No matter how much one resists the beautiful dream, when the time comes, they too will find it hard to let go. Who wants to leave a...
Mr. Gallagher seemed...
You got it wrong. You want to discuss the case? Sure. Come.
Even after that chilling tragedy, this dream is still running effort. Other than the family of the Harmony, it's hard to imagine any...
The family itself is a huge, perfect building. Each member of the family sees themselves as a piece of the divine puzzle, revolving around a singular core and a shared ideal.
Interesting analogy. Perhaps that's why
The human body has its limits, and so does the divine.
That doesn't sound like the kind of comment a Galaxy Ranger would make.
Just pointing out the facts. Mr. Yang.
Why do you...
The beautiful dream is crumbling. But not because of a particular eon, a particular faction, or a particular visitor. It's collapsed as people immerse their souls in the dreamscape, where consequences and pain cease to exist. And also this necrosis will diffuse and spread. One piece of the puzzle's mutation will eventually cause the...
In the end, the dreams that people built in the name of freedom... I'm sure you've gained a lot from this trip, Miss Acheron.
Of course. Don't mind me. It's just a habit. Owing to event...
Take your time.
That should do it.
The moment of daybreak.
Behind the dreamscape song and dance stand many, they say it will suffice. There I encountered a young woman who had just come of age. The perfect, for certain reasons, her wish was...
Gilded hour.
Yes. It is a fortress-like financials. Everyone there is exquisitely dressed. I've never met anyone who was willing to talk. I could only stand at the crossroads. I don't know if they would open the vault door. But before I left, I witnessed a well-dressed Pepeshi.
I hear the blue house.
Perhaps Mr. Yang has heard. There's a large boat called the... I ran into a wizened lady there. She was at the dock. In the humid sea breeze, she spoke of her own youth. Like men. Finally, she suggested we continue our conversation on a boat in the shallows. I agreed. Finally, we retreated.
The dreamscape of chic luxury.
Then you all must have seen those who are attempting to realize their dream. I saw an Intellitron there, who was preparing to auction himself. Once that Intellitron had been auctioned off a dozen times, and I participated in his 13th. This time around, there were no successful bids for him. This is what I've seen and heard. Someone once said to me, Penacony wasn't like... I've traveled through the reality and dreamscape of the planet of festivities. Watched the tides of night rise and fall when time stopped for people. where the spirits of the rich and impoverished remain forever fixed on their own scales. This is why I think the collapse of the beautiful dream...
There might be a way...
Perhaps. But if this is indeed the world that people desire...
Miss Acker, there was a man from my homeland who, at a time when the world was grappling with deep he wove together the dreams of everyone in the world, linking people's dreamscapes, and shouldered this burden himself. From this, and since that moment, the giant stood between heaven and earth, becoming the pillar of the world's existence. They slumbered in a dream, devoid of disaster and pain, living out their days peacefully in the man's created utopia. And it is because of the...
And yet, you stand here right now, which also means that man failed.
Because people must always move towards the future, even if human weaknesses make... And that man, he was never a failure. He was the sun chaser of legend, soaring towards the sky, and he ascended to heights uncharted, only to come face to face with the sun, a place not visited by anyone before. His wing, countless others would surpass him, soaring to even greater.
A fitting metaphor for the Nameless's trailblazing spirit. Thank you, Mr. Yang. I know what you wish to confirm. The universe has innumerable similar, yet different... I too have embarked on journeys, encountering old friends with familiar, even if not completely similar. The story you just told, I ended that man's life. Alone. I am not who you think I am. Nor will my home be as fortunate as your world.
I am sorry.
It's fine. I don't mind, so long as I can...
There's something I still wish to know, Miss Acheron.
Mr. Yang, before answering that question, I wish to continue the previous topic. I like your analogy very much. Indeed, birds are born to fly. But in a distant past, their ancestors could only gaze at the sky in envy. They saw that faraway ray of light from above the heavens, piercing through the clouds and blanketing the earth. And so, time and time again, generation after generation, the birds spread their wings and took to the sky. Then, what if the last bird finally soars into the sky, only to realize that the end of the light is not the sun, but darkness? Then why, exactly?
Long time no see. Having fun on Penacony?
This voice, it's not constant. Could it be her?
Though I don't know exactly what you are, my bullets will find you. Until then, you best find a casket.
Imposter? I see. Who are you?
Huh? Did I make a mistake?
I'm the Garden of Recollections memo keeper.
Not bad.
I don't know what you're talking about, but you...
Are you asking me to...
Not quite. I only want to ask. She's clearly not a path strider of the hunt, but...
Sure. Heck, well... I'll be on Penacony soon. That lady's passed. Well, nobody knows. But if all you want is an emanator who should not exist...
You look pale. Oh.
I didn't think you'd have the nerve.
I thought this was exactly what... Just tell me if you...
So, the genius of the Council of Mundanites wants to be...
Yes, and I'm pretty sure the people at the Strategic Investment Department...
Great. Then tell your people...
Oh, you've got a lot of nerve. How...
My conversation with Sunday convinced me that there's a traitor in the family. I even managed to recover the gift money. Things...
Sounds like a very...
That's all I can say. Go. Do what you must.
That's true, but what's your plan? Did you conceal an orbital supply?
Well, who knows? Maybe that's why I'm handing out cash.
You are indeed
Maybe I...
Fine. Here, take this.
What's this? You catch on pretty fast. Asking me to solve a case without giving a single clue. How typical of you. Wrong-headed scoundrel. But the way you're all on edge about that stowaway... it's just as I guessed it would be. As for now, let the rain of wealth from the IPC fall evenly on